if you are dating a man or you're dating a man in the future and he is not directing you after each date to text him when you get home safely, there is a problem. There is a big problem with his leadership and with his masculine instinct. Unless, of course, he's the one that's driving you home so that he knows that you're safe, but there may be reasons why that's not happening. Otherwise, if you are going home by yourself and he does not ask you this question, he does not give you this directive, he does not demonstrate that he cares, then there is a really big problem. It means his masculine instinct is likely offline. This is a potential, more than potential, red flag. And it's probably going to result in bigger issues down the road, which you are eventually going to find out as he continues to show up in a less than ideal way. And in this video, we're going to talk about why such a little thing, as directing you to text him after getting home from a date is actually such a big deal, and exactly what it means and what to do if you're not getting that from a man. Before we do that, I'm going to introduce myself. Hello, my name is Zach Grody. I am here to lead you into creating the relationship of your dreams using your feminine energy and what I call feminine communication to inspire a man into cherishing you. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that below. Hit the notification bell, and of course, be sure to like this video because I'm going to make sure it's a good one for you. So, understand, a man's job. This is for anyone who's fully new, but it's a good reminder for everybody else. A man's job is to take care of you. That is his role. If he is dating you, or if he's in a relationship with you, or if he is married to you, his job is to take care of you. That means to provide for you, financially and otherwise, and it is to protect you, and it is to care for you, to care about your emotions, to help you with your emotions, to make sure that you are feeling good, to make sure that you are feeling loved, to make sure that you are being cherished. And he does that with his leadership. That's what a masculine man does. That is his role, and that is what feels good for him. That's what gives him purpose in the relationship. That's what causes him to feel more attraction and connection to you when you open yourself to that level of care. He feels like a man. He feels like a hero. He feels like your protector. That's a good thing. The problem in our very emasculated, depolarized world today is that many men have not been taught how to be men. Energetically, they are still stuck in boyhood. They have not been initiated into manhood. They have not had proper role modeling about how to be a man. And because of that, oftentimes, what I call their masculine instinct is suppressed. What is a masculine instinct? The masculine instinct is what drives us as men, me as a man, to take care of a woman, to lead her, to cherish her, to protect her, to provide for her, to make her feel special, to light up her face, make her happy, in whatever way that means. That's the masculine instinct. And specifically, a man is giving her that care through his leadership. So he's anticipating her needs. He's trying to ensure that she is safe. He's thinking of her in that kind of way, as this is my woman to protect, to take care of, to provide for. That's the masculine instinct. The feminine instinct is different. You might feel that with your children, of course, but you shouldn't be feeling that with your man. Your instinct is telling you to open to him. You need to receive his care. You want to receive his care. You feel that desire to open to him, to receive him, to follow his leadership, to be given that protection, to be given that provision, and that's what feels good for you. When you're getting it, you feel that safety, not just the physical safety, but also the emotional safety in the relationship, where it's like, yeah, this man really cares about me. This man really values me enough to do these things for me. So what does it mean then if you go, let's just say a first date, give me first date, second date, third date, doesn't matter. First date, you go out with this man, you really like him. Let's say he didn't pick you up at your house. That's typically not really done anymore, especially not on first dates for safety issues and other reasons. You have a fantastic date. You meet somewhere, okay? Have a fantastic date. And then you go home, like you drive home or you go home in the subway or whatever. So you go home, and before you leave, he doesn't tell you to text him when you get home. And he also doesn't text you at any point after the date to ask like, hey, tell me if you got home safely. Just want to make sure you're okay. What does that mean? Well, it can mean a few things, potentially. But in general, it's a general rule, it is pointing towards his masculine instincts not being fully online. Because if his masculine instinct was fully online, he would be thinking, I want to make sure that she is safe. Even if he didn't really like you. Like, let's say it's a first date and it's like, this isn't, the girl for me. If his masculine instinct is online and he's in that role, he should be wanting to take care of the feminine in general, regardless of whether you end up to be his woman, right? He's wanting to take care of all women in some capacity, at least a basic level of protection. So it would just be a gentlemanly thing to do to make sure that you got home safely. And that's it. But if he's not doing that, it means he's not feeling solid in that role. He doesn't realize that is his role. He doesn't feel that drive to make sure that you are safe, which means he isn't in that protector role. He doesn't feel that drive to be in that protector role. That's a red flag. That's a really big red flag. Because if he's showing up already this way, where he's not demonstrating this care to protect you in any kind of way, to make sure that you are safe, and just to give you that small amount of care, right? It's just a nice thing for a woman to know that a man cares about her in that way. If he's not willing to spend those extra few seconds to lead in that direction, then he's probably not going to step up later on if you went on 10 dates and you got into a relationship. Is he going to be in his masculine energy? Is he going to feel that drive to lead, to take charge, to make your life easier, to make sure that you're okay, to help you, to support you? There's a good chance that he won't. Okay? I'm going to talk about myself and my own experience. It's like kind of embarrassing because I was just so terrible back in the day. So I'll be mentioning that in a moment. Before we do, if you are liking this video so far, if you're hanging on to the edge of your seat thinking about what I'm going to be talking about next, especially, be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe to this video. This is the kind of thing that I talk about in all of my videos about how a masculine man should be showing up for you, or your man, if you've got a man, should be showing up for you. And if he's not, or if you don't have a man, if you're not able to attract a masculine man, what you can do about it, how you can make these shifts, how you can become the feminine woman that you are meant to be, that you really are underneath your fears and other control patterns and self-judgment. How you can become that woman to inspire a man and attract a man into fully taking care of you the way that you need and deserve. So if you want more videos about that, be sure that you have subscribed to this channel because I'm going to give you so much more. Okay, so the old Zach. I'm 41 now. Just had my birthday a few weeks ago. I'm getting old. I don't feel old, but I am apparently getting old. So I have been with my wife for almost a decade now, married to her for almost 9 years. It's been a while. It's really, the time is really going by. And since the 3.5 year mark, since we've known each other, our marriage has been getting consistently better. Much more attraction for each other, connection towards each other, less problems, just wanting to be around each other more, feeling more desire for each other, no unmet needs. It just gets better and better. And why is that? It's because of polarity. It's because of masculine and feminine polarity. It's because I learned how to apply this into my marriage, not just improving myself so that I could become a masculine leader and take care of my wife in the way that she needed, so she would stop building up resentment for me, along with other reasons. And I taught her how to be the woman that I need, right? How to be submissive, how to let go of control, how to honor her heart, how to communicate vulnerably, how to use feminine communication in a way where she's communicating to me with respect, which she had a lot of trouble with before, and inspired me into wanting to take care of her, right? Because I could use willpower to take care of her, because I was like, I learned how to be a man. But I for a while, I really had to use willpower to do it. Or it's just like, I don't really want to. On some level I want to because I want the relationship to be better, but she's not inspiring me in any way. She's doing all this stuff to kind of push me away and cause me to lose attraction for her, all of her wounding. And I was much more wounded back then as well. So I was doing stuff that was causing a lack of safety and other things. But as I stepped up and I learned how to be more of a safe space for my wife, stop getting irritated or putting that irritation onto her, being critical, being apathetic at times. The more I did that, the more I also started leading her into letting go of control, being vulnerable, being the woman that I need her to be, so that I felt so much more attracted to her, connected to her, inspired to cherish her. And this is important because this is exactly, and I'm getting somewhere with this because I'm going to talk about the old me in a moment, and wow, it's like red flags all over the place. This is important because this is what I now teach women in my academy program. I teach women the exact same stuff that I taught my wife. And this is one of the reasons I'm so good at it, and I've gotten such incredible results from my women clients, is because I've learned all of this experientially. I've been in a relationship for years with a much lower level of attraction, connection, and like basically no inspiration to take care of her. I figured out all the ways that she is causing me to lose that inspiration through her wounding, and then I had to learn how to lead her out of it with love and care and safety. And so I'm now doing the exact same thing in my academy program for women, without the romance, of course. And so by helping them through these exact same shifts, they end up transforming themselves, and they're not becoming someone they're not. I teach women, I show women, I coach women, I lead women to be who they really are in their love lives so that they can attract a really healthy masculine man from the get-go, someone way better than I was, or if they're already in a relationship, as you may be if you're watching this, then how to inspire that man to start stepping up. There's a reason he isn't. And it's easy to look at all it's like, oh, I can see how it's all your fault, right? Like, oh, you're just not being the man that I need you to be. It's harder to look at yourself and be like, okay, here's all the ways that I'm causing a man to not step up. Not to blame yourself. It's not about blame. It's about doing an accurate self-assessment, objectively looking and being like, okay, yeah, I'm seeing how we're co-creating this together. It's not just me, it's not just him, but you can only focus on you to change yourself, right? When I transformed my marriage, I had to look at myself first. There's a lot of things I just wanted to blame my wife for. It's like, man, you were just so masculinized and, causing me to not want to step up. But I had to look at myself first and see like, oh yeah, it's my apathy to a large degree, my own selfishness, my own lack of desire to be her provider and protector, my own lack of a backbone in certain ways, my own lack of love, my irritation, that's causing so much of this. And yes, she has her own wounds too, but I need to look at myself and start shifting all of those things in myself, including start stepping up and leading her out of her wounds instead of just blaming her and getting critical, right? So that's how I started shifting my marriage, focusing on me first. And it's the same thing for you in your love life. You focus on you. And how that looks is going to be totally different because you're not going to be teaching a man how to be a man. That's not going to work. That's part of the problem. You need to let go and focus on your own needs, your own problems, communicate them vulnerably, stop enabling his unhealthy patterns, and let down all of your guards, open up. Also, for many women, develop a willingness to flow away from a man, right? Because a lot of the women that we work with in our academy, their main problem is that they don't have a willingness to flow away from a man, which is demonstrating a lack of self-worth. And so then the men that they attract or the man that they're with, they can feel that lack of the lack of self-worth, and then they're going to feel less attraction to that woman, less connection and less inspiration. You need to be in your self-worth, which means you always need to be willing to flow away. Stop enabling his stuff, start speaking up for yourself, stop complying, right? Following a man who's not devoted to you. There's so many shifts to make. So, as I promised, that went longer than I meant to. I am going to talk in a moment about about the old me and why that's such a problem and what you can do about if you ever come across such a man. But first, if you're interested in working with me, if everything that I'm saying is resonating, go below this video, open up the description, click the Relationship of Your Dreams link, and that takes you to my website, relationshipofyourdreams.com. Watch that video there, and then book a call with me. Right below that video. And on the call, we're going to talk all about what's going on in your love life. I am going to help you, show you how to make these shifts personalized to whatever your situation is. It's a totally free discovery call. And from that, I will know, can we help you in our academy program? Can we help you make the kind of shifts that we help our students make? And if I believe that we can talk all about the program and we can make sure that it's the right program for you, and then you can decide whether to join and work with us. Okay, so the old me. I was really crappy. I was a very undevoted man to both my wife and to all of the many women that I dated prior to her. I lived for the most part in downtown Toronto for about a decade, and that was where I basically learned how to talk to women, how to be successful with women, how to date women, how to ask for a woman's number, how to have successful dates, all of that kind of stuff. But I was also a Peter Pan. I had not found my masculine instinct. I was out of touch with it. And so I didn't feel a desire to want to provide for and protect a woman. I was more in this mode of like, let's have fun together. Let's be good friends. Let's sleep together and be good friends. I did not have the mindset of, I'm going to claim a woman. I'm going to take care of her. I'm going to protect her. I'm going to make sure that she's always okay. And I'm going to add value to her life. And so when I would go out with a woman, and even after sleeping with a woman, I would not tell her to text me when she gets home to make sure that she's safe. And I would also not ask her when she gets home, hey, did you get home okay? It didn't even really occur to me. I didn't even really care. Because I sucked. Because I was so out of, and like, men suck when they are out of touch with their masculine instinct. That is just naturally going to happen. They are going to be a big time waster for a woman, and they are typically going to hurt a woman. They are going to often use women or allow a woman to take care of them in some kind of way, which just drains them, like if you're stuck in your own mothering kind of wounds. And yeah, they're just not going to be a very good time. Unfortunately, so many women are wounded that they attract those kind of men, or they don't see the red flags that they are. They're walking red flags. I had so many red flags that I was just waving around to my wife when I first met her and to other women. But I also came I was very charismatic. I was very attractive in other ways. I did lead, actually. Like, I would lead the date. I would do all this stuff, but I would do it more selfishly. It was more for me, and I was just there to have a good time. And I enjoyed making sure the woman had a good time as long as it took very little effort from me. So women would tend to be quite attracted to me. But then I would be waving these red flags around, and they would tolerate it because they still felt so much attraction to me and connection to me. I knew how to connect with women really well. And so one of those red flags that I'd be waving around is I would sleep with a woman, or I'd go on a date with her, second date, third date, whatever, and then didn't even care if she got home okay. Didn't demonstrate that I cared in any kind of way. I mean, like, I'd be kind of unhappy if she didn't, if something happened. But because I wasn't in that protector role, I didn't feel that responsibility of like, hey, it's my job to make sure that she's okay. So there's a big difference there. This is all about responsibility. A masculine man feels that responsibility as the provider, and he will demonstrate it in various ways. Now, it is also possible, I may as well put it out there. Is it possible that a man can do all the right things and text a woman this, tell me if you got home okay, all that kind of stuff, and there's actually still something wrong with him? Yeah, like narcissists could still do that. People pleasers could still do that. Sociopaths could still do that. Deeply abused men could still do that. Alcoholics could still do that. This isn't like a magic bullet where it's like, hey, if a man texts you this, he's good to go. You may as well try to get that ring on your finger, marry him, sleep with him, everything's good. No, there's a lot of problems that can still exist. But if a man doesn't text you that is a really big red flag in itself. Because it shows that he does not feel that responsibility for taking care of you. And the reason that I point this out, I want you to start paying attention to men. To really pay attention to how they show up for you. To how they care for you or don't care for you. Because they will always expose themselves. You just have to pay attention, not rationalize what you see, and also be willing to speak out and share what you're seeing, but do it in a feminine way, ideally. At least if you want to continue to see him again. Because such a man who, understand as well, such a man who doesn't text you this, it doesn't mean necessarily that you should write him off. It is a big red flag. but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's hopeless. I had so many fantastic qualities back when I met my wife, but my instinct wasn't fully online. Had she fully been in her feminine and known how to communicate in a vulnerable feminine way, could she have activated my masculine instinct fully? I believe absolutely she could have. I see no reason why it wouldn't have come fully online. It was actually close. There was just this one big wound that was in the way that took a few years for it to come to the surface, and then everything changed. But she could have done that, just she didn't know how. I attracted my wound mate, and so we remained wounded together and enabling each other's wounds. She didn't like the fact that I didn't really, I'm going to make this worse, okay? This is even more embarrassing. Even when she would come over to my place, I didn't even walk her to the subway. The subway was like 2 minutes away. Like, that's actually I really don't like to share that because it's just so pathetic. Like, it's really bottom basement pathetic behavior from a man. I couldn't even take the time and understand, it's not like I didn't care about my wife. This is really important to understand this distinction. Even back then, even the first date, second date, third date, all of those dates, I really liked her. I really cared about her. And I fell in love with her relatively quickly, in a totally different way that I never experienced with any other woman. But I didn't feel that drive to be her protector because I was still indoctrinated with, feminist nonsense. It's like she can handle herself. And there's a lot of men out there that have been indoctrinated in this kind of way. Being indoctrinated with that ideology turns men much more selfish and not focused on taking care of a woman. But a really feminine woman can bring the best out in that kind of man. There is another woman I remember, this is how, this is actually interesting. This is important to share before I wrap things up, how a woman can do things the wrong way. Another woman that I had met years before my wife, I was still not walking women to the subway, just didn't care. Didn't think it was my role. Women can handle themselves. And she had seen me again, and this was we'd been out for a bunch of times, and she had come over to my place, and then she was leaving. And she kind of set an ultimatum. It's like, I want you to walk me to the subway. And I'm not going to keep coming back if you don't. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I didn't walk her to the subway. Her heart was in the right place. Her feminine instinct was online enough to know that this isn't really right. This doesn't feel good for me. It's like, yeah, he's really fun and everything and shows me a good time, and he's not really stepping up to be my protector and show that he really cares about me. He's not demonstrating that. So she kind of sets this ultimatum, and I'm just like, whatever. I don't care enough. I didn't ever fall for ultimatums because I felt in me I didn't want to be led by a woman in any kind of way. Had she been really vulnerable, shared the sadness that was coming up for her and the anxiety that would come up walking alone, maybe some even anger would be okay, or shame, embarrassment, there could be a whole bunch of feelings. If she was to share that vulnerably, if she was to ask me for help with those feelings, and she really opened up her heart, I almost certainly would have had a totally different reaction to her. Even though I knew she wasn't the one. That woman was not the one for me. But I still would have had almost certainly a completely different reaction and started. And if she was, here's the thing, if she was fully in her feminine and communicating in that way, she could have been the one for me. But because she definitely wasn't the one for me. And I didn't show up as the one for her. I didn't show up as a man who demonstrated that I wanted to take care of her. And then she actually never saw me again after that. It's like, oh, interesting. She actually meant it. So if you are in this situation, notice it. Don't rationalize it. Don't just excuse his behavior. You can do one of two things. You can decide, if you already know that, this is definitely not the man for me, you can just ignore it if you choose to. It's not a big deal. Save your time. Just never see him again. But if you really like him, or you like him somewhat, and you think that it could have a potential future, but it's like, ooh, this big red flag is really turning you off or causing anxiety for you or something, don't just write him off. Have a conversation about it. Bring it up to him. May I please have some help with what I'm feeling? Start there. This is what we teach women in the academy. This is the most basic part of feminine communication. If you need help with something, if you need help with a feeling, you ask for it. You ask permission for it specifically. And then you share what the feeling is, and then he leads you into explaining what's going on, why you're feeling this way, and you share what the problem is without blaming him, without making it about him. Focus on you, and you see if he shifts. You see if he starts stepping up, if he recognizes, hey, yeah, this isn't the most devotional behavior. I actually should be communicating better. I should be stepping up as her protector. Some men will, especially for men where the only wound is just kind of this feminist indoctrination stuff, and he's not heavily indoctrinated in it, just a little bit. And part of my wound was also just being selfish and stingy with my time. That can be overcome. And for other men, their wounds are too deep, they are too big. No matter what you do, it's not going to shift their behavior. Their masculine instinct isn't going to come online. They're not going to want to be your protector. And if a man demonstrates that by the way that you communicate these issues, fantastic. You're not meant to inspire every single man. Your femininity, your feminine self-worth, your feminine communication, your feminine energy, it is not meant to inspire every single man. What it is meant to do is inspire the men that are right for you and expose the men that are wrong for you so that you don't waste your time with those men. You will get rejected from doing this. That's good. You saved a bunch of time. When you get rejected, you save time. And you save what would have been much deeper heartbreak down the road. You got to recognize that. If you take this journey and start exposing yourself, you start being really vulnerable, you start using feminine communication, you absolutely will experience rejection, and it will be painful. It will be hard. You will want to give up. You may go into shame spirals, beat yourself up about it, make it about you, which, it's not about you. But if that's the way that you're wired currently, you might make it about you. You have to continue to move forward anyway and make these shifts. If you want help making these shifts, I help you make it much easier, including if you do the shame spiral thing, if you beat yourself up, if you're really stuck in fear, if you freeze up, if you keep wasting these opportunities because you're afraid of rejection, I can help you, and I want to help you. I want to make this journey so much easier for you. Do a call with me. Free discovery call. Let's talk. Let's find out what your situation is, what you're doing, why you're doing it. I'll give you some direction about how to shift. And then we'll find out if the academy is right for you, or we can help you, take you by the hand, help you make all these shifts, practice feminine communication with you, practice being vulnerable in a safe space where you're not going to be attacked, you're not going to be rejected, you're just going to be loved. I would love to facilitate that for you. And if that resonates for you, if you're interested in that, go below this video, open up the description, click relationshipyourdreams.com, watch the video, book the call below the video, and I will see you there. We'll have a great time. That's it for this video. I will see you for the next one.